Hi there YouTube, this is Daniel back again with another YouTube video, and this is another little haul video, and it's dedicated to one publisher, and that publisher is TKO Studios. I have received a package here that I received yesterday, and I'd hoped to get this before I did my graphic novel haul video last week, but decided that since it's been in limbo basically for a long time in the bottlenecks of both the US and European postal services and customs checks and whatever, I decided to just make a separate video for this whenever it showed up. And luckily it showed up today, and so I decided to pre-open the package. So it came in this box here, so it's gonna be a little bit of an unboxing as well. First thing I see here is that they threw in one of these little TKO stickers, which I will put onto one of my short boxes that I've been putting stickers on. The neat thing about this haul is that I decided to join them in their initiative that they decided to give half their proceeds or half the cover price of each book they sold through this initiative to the local comic shop of your choice. So I decided to get every trade paperback that was available through their website, and I nominated my local comic shop here in Stockholm to be the recipient of that contribution. So I guess I get one of these little certificates or whatever you want to call it. And that's the invoice. And there's another box. And there's another box. So I'll get 3 boxes, I guess. So these 2 boxes must contain the trade paperbacks. So let's go through the first box, which contains what looks like to be 3 trade paperbacks. And let's just unwrap the other one as well. So they came bubble wrapped in protective cardboard in a box. Here is the stack. So the first trade paperback of the haul is Roxane Gay and Ming Doyle's and Jordi Belair's The Banks. It's a trade paperback of 6 issues, I think, that is about a heist or like a yeah, I think it's a heist drama type deal. So I'll just read from the back. Chicago, South Side. For 50 years, the women of the Banks family have been the most successful thieves in the city by following one simple rule: get in, get away, get paid, and never get greedy. But when the youngest Banks, who has long turned her back on her family, stumbles upon the heist of a lifetime, the potential windfall may be enough to bring 3 generations of thieves together for one incredible score and the chance to avenge a loved one taken too soon. So that sounds pretty interesting to me, and the artwork in this looks pretty decent too. Here's some of the art. And the size of this is oversized, so it's kind of the same size as a deluxe hardcover, but it's in trade paperback form. And the next book I have to show you is Sentient by Jeff Lemire and Gabriel Walta. This recently got a nomination for an Eisner Award for Best Limited Series, I believe. And it's a sci-fi set in outer space on this spaceship where there is an AI, and here's the blurb on the back. When a separatist attack kills every adult on board a colony ship in deep space, it is up to Valerie, the onboard AI, to help the ship's children survive. But as they are pursued by dangerous forces, can Valerie become more than what she was programmed to be? A savior to these children? And yeah, this sounds really interesting. So I'm definitely gonna put this on the top of my to read pile soon. And if any one of you have read this or any of the TKO books I'm gonna show you, let me know what you thought, but please don't spoil anything down in the comments. And let's have a discussion. The third book that I got is TKO's Pound for Pound, Natalie Chaides, Andy Belanger, and Daniela Miwa. Kind of looks like wrestling book. So the blurb says, MMA. Underground MMA fighter Danny Libra fears nothing, except for her recurring blackouts and fractured memories that obscure a bloody past. But her sister is kidnapped. But when her sister is kidnapped, Danny must shine a light on the darkness in her own mind. Only question is, can she keep her own demons at bay for long enough to save her sister? So a kidnapping drama. That sounds interesting. The artwork looks good. Yeah, here's some of the artwork as well. Yeah, that one looks fun. So yeah, Pound for Pound. It's gonna be interesting to read this. And the fourth book that I have to show you is Eve of Extinction by Sal Simeone, Steve Simeone, and Nick Virella and Ruth Redmond. So this looks like a horror type story with supernatural elements. The blurb on the back says, it started with the rain. The rain brought something that started changing the men. In order to reach their standard daughter, two mothers must survive the hurricane and the horrors that it unleashed. But can they work together long enough to save their daughter in a world where all the men have become monsters? So I guess something in the rain turns the male population into horrors. So here is some of the artwork. It looks interesting. Here's some other monsters. So this looks pretty cool. I love the cover. Yeah, I have never read anything about from these writers or the artists, so this is gonna be a new experience for me. And then we have the fifth book that I got, which is Sara by Garth Ennis and Steve Epting, and with Elizabeth Breitweiser on the coloring duties. This looks pretty good. This was the one that kind of piqued my interest when they first launched their publishing company, TKO Studios. Yeah, so this is a World War II story, which there aren't that many that's being published at the moment about World War II, and which I find fascinating, the era that is. And the blurb on the back says, in the second terrible winter of the siege of Leningrad, 7 women snipers find themselves caught up in the struggle against the German invader. Their deadliest shot is Sara, whose inner demons may yet prove her undoing. But with the enemy to their front and the agents of the Soviet state lurking in the shadows, how long can any of the squad survive the terrifying maelstrom of war? The art by Steve Epting is just gorgeous. Here's some other artwork as well. And then we have the sixth book in the haul, which is The Seven Deadly Sins by Chun, Artyom Trakhanov, and Guila Brusco, I think. Brusco. The artwork kinda reminds me a bit of Scout, and it looks to be set in a Western style, Western setting. Here's some of the artwork, and the blurb on the back says that in 1867, Texas, a group of death row criminals is recruited by a priest for a suicide mission into Comanchera. Led by an outlaw with a bloody past, this deadly crew embarks on an action-packed adventure in this bold new vision of the American West. Yeah. And the last book that I picked up through TKO Studios website and their Help Your Local Comic Shop initiative is the Fearsome Dr Fang. And this looks to be a sort of occult type story, or where there's a lot of occultism. So here's some of the artwork, which looks gorgeous as well. And yeah, this kind of looks like an Indiana Jones style story, which is awesome. And here's the blurb on the back. When an occult artifact is stolen by the dashing criminal mastermind, the Fearsome Dr Fang, San Francisco cop Nayland Kelly and treasure hunter Alice LaCroix travels to China to recover the item and bring Fang to justice. But when our heroes discover Fang is not a criminal at all, but an undercover agent working to keep the artifact safe, the trio must join forces to stop the true evil from awakening an ancient power. So this kinda sounds like a Indiana Jones story, which is awesome. Yeah, the artwork looks awesome. I'll try to pronounce the names of the creators. So Tse Chun, Mike Weiss, Dan McDade, and Daniela Miwa. So that's it. These are the 7 books that I picked up through TKO Studios initiative to help local comic shops get through this mandatory lockdown that is imposed on a lot of the world's comic shops and other local businesses. So these 7 books are looks really good, and I've been very interested in getting these books for a long time, ever since I noticed that TKO Studios launched their publishing company. And yeah, so this is gonna be awesome to read, and some of them are being put on top of my to read pile, and others might be put there later on. But yeah, really interesting books, great artwork as it seems, and nice oversized books as well. So that's it for today. If you have any questions about these books or any suggestions for videos to do, I'll look into it. Leave a comment down below, and let's have a discussion. See you around. Bye bye.